I used to think a great garden meant endless work, tilling, watering, fertilizing, always doing more. My weekends vanished into a never-ending to-do list, and gardening became a second job. I lost sight of why I started fresh food and a connection to nature. Ironically, all that effort made things worse. Tilling destroyed soil life, daily watering weakened roots. The harder I worked, the more problems I created. I was exhausted, frustrated, and ready to give up. Then I realized, nature thrives without constant interference. My job wasn't to control everything but to step back and let natural systems work. I started to question every task. Was it really necessary, or just habit? This shift changed everything. I discovered that less effort could mean a healthier, more joyful garden. That was the beginning of my transformation. The breaking point came one sweltering afternoon, pulling weeds under a relentless sun. My garden, once a sanctuary, felt like a burden. I was stuck in a cycle, fighting weeds, battling pests, pouring money into fertilizers. The joy was gone, replaced by stress and comparison to perfect gardens online. I dreaded stepping outside, overwhelmed by endless chores and unrealistic expectations. Even small successes felt overshadowed by constant work. I realized I was chasing perfection instead of enjoying the process. Burnout forced me to pause and ask, what was I really trying to achieve? Was there a simpler, better way? That moment of exhaustion became a turning point. I was ready to let go of the old approach. It was time to rediscover the joy in gardening. My new philosophy? Do less, not more. The first thing to go was tilling. I learned that tilling destroys soil life and brings up more weeds. Instead, I embraced no-dig gardening, layering cardboard over grass, then piling on compost. No digging, no back-breaking labor, just letting nature do the work. The cardboard smothered weeds and fed earthworms as it broke down. Compost created a rich, airy bed for planting. My plants thrived, roots spreading easily, weeds kept at bay. Earthworms returned, soil became darker and more alive. I stopped fighting nature and started working with it. Less effort, healthier soil, and better harvests. No dig was a true revolution in my garden. Next, I ditched daily watering and constant fertilizing. Mulch was my secret weapon, shredded leaves or straw on top of compost. It locked in moisture, shaded the soil, and cut watering to once a week. My plants grew deeper roots, becoming tougher and more resilient. Mulch also blocked weeds, saving even more time. I stopped using synthetic fertilizers, focusing on feeding the soil with compost and worm castings. Healthy soil meant healthy plants, stronger, tastier, and less prone to pests. Each year, I simply added a fresh layer of compost. The soil life flourished, breaking down organic matter and nourishing my crops naturally. I was no longer forcing growth, just creating the right conditions. Less watering, less feeding, less weeding, more abundance. Simplicity made my garden thrive. The final step was growing less, but better. I stopped planting every vegetable I could find and focused on family favorites. Fewer crops meant less stress and waste, and more time to care for what mattered. I mastered the needs of my chosen plants: tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, lettuce, beans. The harvest was bigger, tastier, and nothing went to waste. My garden became a source of joy, not obligation. The connection between garden and kitchen grew stronger. Success wasn't about size or effort, but about nourishment and happiness. By subtracting tasks and focusing on what I loved, I found peace and productivity. I invite you to ask, what can you do less of in your garden? Try subtracting a few chores. You might add a lot more joy. Sometimes less really is more.